I've enjoyed Charles's works on monarchism, and he is close to making me a monarchist himself.
Oh boy.
However, one of my biggest hang-ups about monarchism is the very dubious nature in which it is treated in Holy Scripture. In 1 Kings chapter 8, God himself chastises the Hebrews for desiring a king, and tells them all the horrible things they will suffer at the hands of the kings. The next 3.5 books see these come to pass. It is hard to read the above passage and the rest of the books of Kings without thinking that God himself is opposed to monarchy. How does Charles reconcile this very equivocal position given to monarchs in the Bible? More importantly, how was the church reconciled? How has the church reconciled this passage from 1 Kings 8 with her long preference for monarchy?
Well, firstly, you've got to bear in mind that the argument from Scripture about the king of the God didn't want kings in Israel was actually first adumbrated. There's a word for it.
What?
Adumbrated.
Adumbrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adumbrated. It was first adumbrated, expressed, in other words,
Oh.
by none other than Thomas Paine.
Wow.
And Paine himself declared that it was funny he could get so many people to believe it, given that he himself didn't believe in the Old Testament. So I just thought I'd put that out there.
Okay.
Well, you want to know where your sources are. You got to bear in mind that the children of Israel were unlike any other on earth, firstly. They were the only ones who had retained the original revelation and the original covenant of all the peoples of the earth.
Yeah.
So God wanted to rule them directly, and this was to be done through the judges. But as we know, not every judge was Samuel. Some judges were corrupt, like the ones who dealt with Susanna. We live in a country and a time and a place that is ruled by judges. And
The way God wanted. In the Bible.
Which God?
I thought you said that God wanted the Israelites ruled by judges.
But we're not Israelites. And our judges are more like Susanna's than Samuel. You see what's happened. Rule by judges for us has turned this country into a pit, a bubbling sewer of grossness.
We just need good judges.
What's that?
We just need good judges.
Who's going to get them?
We gonna get them.
Yeah. Okay. That's an eccentric view, but you hold on to it. The truth of the matter is that just as the children of Israel gave up the temple and became the church, so too Catholic monarchy was actually born at the Last Supper. Remember that for all of his comments about the children of Israel wanting kings, there were holy kings, by the way, like Hezekiah, who profited from their holiness. He nevertheless insisted in coming to earth as the son of the house of David and as heir of the Davidic kingdom.
That's true.
Yep. Well, here's the funny thing. At the Last Supper, what happens? He demonstrates the soul of Catholic kingship through washing the feet of his brethren. And it's interesting that in the Latin Catholic countries, until they tend to lose power, Catholic monarchs wash the feet of poor people on Maundy Thursday.
Wow.
It was a big ceremony. And Catholic monarchy, therefore, was quite a different thing from the other monarchies with which the Israelites were familiar. Persia and Babylon and so forth. Beverly Hills, all that.
Beverly Hills?
Yeah, pagan monarchy.
Who's the king of Beverly Hills?
It changes from year to year. Ask me after the next Academy Awards, and I'll tell you.
Ah.
But, seriously, you read St. Thomas and Regno and all that. You read the coronation rites of kings that the church put out.
Could you repeat that? Read St. Thomas Aquinas de
Regno.
Yeah.
You read the coronation rites of kings that various church bodies put out. And it becomes very, very clear what the Catholic view of kingship was. And it was quite different to the pagan view of kingship. It was quite different to the modern view of governance.
So you're saying St. Thomas Aquinas was in favor of monarchy, and he wrote this work to show that monarchy is the best.
As advice to the king of Cyprus as to how to rule.
Oh.
And the thing is, there's a lot of argument over what's called the divine right of kings. But even St. Robert Bellarmine, who was a strenuous opponent of the Protestant version of that, was not anti-monarchist. He was simply anti-abuse of it.
Because you have to get rid of tyrants. I think that's been leveraged as support of the United States. We're getting rid of a tyrant.
Well,
right? And no, I'm just saying other people have done
that's
that.
what they say. The problem with it, of course, is that number one, it's not true as far as George III was concerned. There was no tyrant. And secondly, if you were to apply that teaching today to this country, with our gay marriage and our infanticide and everything else we do, well, then you'd have to lead a revolution. I'll follow you.
Not me.
No, you draw that sword. There will be no tyrannical, absolute, infant murdering, marriage destroying tyrants over us. Oh, I guess not. No. We'll be good. It's not like they were those evil old monarchs. We elect them. And you know what? If that's true, it makes us equally guilty.
I never thought of that before, the concept of tyranny back in the day compared to
Tyranny
what
now.
we have now.
Do you really think even Henry VIII could have gotten away with gay marriage or infanticide?
Yeah, that seems like
As it was, he had to deal with rebellions against what he did at the church. Imagine that he attacked reality itself. Think of what his people would have done to him.
Yeah, they would have probably killed him.
Yep. But we're better people than that. We're so sweet and wonderful.
Well, we're more enlightened.
Well, we're more enlightened than the loafers, maybe.